Can we give praise to the Lord in every situation, even if he cuts our army down to 300?
What did we do to deserve wasps? Or like, why do we have dangerous animals and creatures and things like that? Yeah.
The things we do for our kids, to make sure our kids don't turn out like we do.
Yeah.
It's an investment. Relish, pleasing or zestful flavor.
A quantity just sufficient to flavor, to be pleased or gratified by, enjoy.
We are hoping that what we bring to your table today might add some spice to your life.
Welcome back to another episode of Relish. I am your host, Roan Miller. This is Pastor Don Patterson. Don, how are you doing today?
I'm doing well.
Yeah.
Warm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, staying warm. It's hard in these early winters, but
it is. Yeah. We've had a respite, but now that's over.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we start with your question?
Might as well.
How did your upbringing impact your faith?
I think it made it fairly easy for me. I haven't had a ton of challenges or like hard times with faith or other things in my life that would necessarily turn me away from God. So just being rooted in faith from the start and having people in my life that are very firm believers and living it day to day in their life has helped me a lot.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
It does. It does help. Great deal.
About it. Yeah.
Generations of good, solid believers in your family.
Yeah.
I can attest to that.
Very good role models in my family and life. So yeah.
Cool. So now the difficult part.
Yeah.
See, we need to restate the premise here is the fact that Roan comes with questions that I have no idea what's coming, and I try to answer in as well as I can without having studied the question for a week ahead of time. That's the comic relief.
He gets a good couple seconds to think about it, actually. So yeah.
Okay. So I think we're ready. I think we're braced.
All right.
Braced.
First attempt to fool Don here.
Yeah, there you go.
Why did God want Gideon's army to be 300 instead of 32,000?
Well, I think the biggest thing is God wanted to make sure that instead of Gideon taking credit, God would be given credit for the victory.
Okay.
And I think we see that theme lived out in the Old Testament a lot more often than maybe we make note of it. So all of our life, all of our victories, as well as, one thing would be say, okay, God orchestrated my defeat, but in reality, we learn more from sometimes our defeat than we do from our victories. Can we give that to God as well as the victories and say, yes, the Lord got me through, positive or negative? In Gideon's case, with the judges and everybody was doing what was right in their own eyes in Gideon's time, and Gideon was sort of one of those guys that, you got to prove, Lord, that you are who you are. And so when you take that story from the beginning, and he says, prove it by making the fleece wet, and then prove it by making the fleece dry and the ground wet. God had to sort of prove himself to Gideon. So then after Gideon gets this whole army together, and God says, nah, cut it back, and nah, cut it back some more, nah, cut it back some more. And Gideon has the faith to say, okay, yeah, I believe enough in God that I'll do that.
Right.
And then go with these 300 guys and their pots and their torches, and away they go. So I think the essence of that story, the essence of that account is to remind God's people, it's not about us. We're about God's business, and we leave the victory to him.
All right.
And give him all the honor and glory and praise.
Mm-hmm.
It's not about us. And boy, what would happen to us as Christians if we lived with that kind of faith in our day-to-day lives? That I've got this big exam,
right,
and I'll give you all the honor and glory if you help me through it, and I get an A. I mean, we could take that attitude,
right?
What if we've
all probably done that a couple of times.
I remember high school. I remember college even.
Right.
And times in seminary. Help me through this paper. And some of those exams were in person in front of the professors, where you did not write your answer. You had to give a verbal answer to why you wrote what you wrote in your paper. Like a defending your dissertation kind of thing.
Right.
And that's not something, real easy to do.
Right.
Can we then live into every moment that we give it to God and the outcome is also the Lord's, and we acknowledge that there might be a reason for the outcome as it, if it doesn't turn out so great, maybe the Lord had a plan in that it wasn't supposed to turn out great because we learned more from that. Can we give praise to the Lord in every situation, even if he cuts our army down to 300 and he still gives us victory?
Right.
Well, this is cool, Lord. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Remember in Matthew 6, it says, "Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven."
Mm-hmm.
That's what we want. That's what we're rooting for. And I think that's what Gideon was rooting for. Finally, at the end, after God got him convinced that he really was guiding not only the battle and the outcome.
Yeah.
So, can we give the Lord praise in every situation?
Work on it. Yeah. Was there something, if I remember right, there was one of the times when the Lord decreased his army, they were drinking from a lake or water or something.
And it
was like drinking with hands, or whether they went all the way down? Was there something symbolic
yes,
about
exactly. So symbolic in that is the fact that, when I look at it and I see it, I think that it's, how would you say? I thought it was sort of unsanitary, the one bunch did.
This is in Josh.
Yeah, Judges chapter 7. So Gideon took the men down to the water. There the Lord told him, "Separate those who lap the water with their tongues like a dog, and those who kneel down to drink." Lap the water with their tongues like a dog from those who kneel down to drink. And so it's not cupping it in your hand. This is actually sticking your tongue in the water, or getting your lips down close enough to the water that you're sucking it in.
Okay.
Have you ever seen a leech?
When
I see this passage, I sort of think, oh man, stick their tongue down in there and or get your lips down on the water and suck it up. What all could be in that water?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. We don't do that nowadays.
No. And so that's how he separated them. Yeah. I read it right now and I thought they were cupping it and putting it to their lips, and that's not the case. They were actually getting right down and dirty with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's still too many. And, and it gets down to that, and all the rest got down on their knees to drink.
Yeah.
And so the brave ones were the ones that got all the way down on their knees, got their heads in the water and drank. Well, I don't know that I could get my lips on the water without getting my head in the water.
Yeah, that'd be tough. Yeah. There's no straw there.
No straw here. No straw. No coolie cup. No ice in the cup or anything. And 300 men lapped it up.
Yeah. How many did those 300 men take down then?
The whole army. Sword. Yeah, boy. Yeah. The camp, 300 trumpets, and they put the whole army to rout. It usually says right there in the beginning or end of the passage. I don't see it.
Yeah.
Against the camp.
They can do their research at home, I guess.
Yes. Judges chapter 6 and 7. 7 is the battle, and I don't see the numbers. Just see that of the Israelites.
Yeah. Oh, well. Yeah.
3 companies, 300. Yeah. They put the 300 men into 3 companies, 100. I don't see it. I'm sorry.
That's all right. They can figure it out. But being
A lot.
Yeah.
A lot more than 300.
Being one of those soldiers, and you look around and you can see exactly 300, and then look across to the Midianites, was it?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Right.
And they can't even number them, but
Yeah.
yeah. The next one we'll move into here is what did we do to deserve wasps? Or like, why do we have dangerous
Dangerous
animals and creatures and
Yeah.
things like that on the earth?
Yeah. What did we deserve? The wasp and the tick and the chigger.
Leeches and
Bleachers and chiggers. And what did we do to deserve that? Well, it likely, what I see between Genesis chapter 2 and Genesis chapter 3 is everything in Genesis chapter 2 seemed to have a balance and an origin and work together. And then when we get to chapter 3, the sin, missing the mark, and when we talk about missing the mark, it's missing exactly why God said what he said and being obedient. Okay, so they had it laid out before them that they could eat of anything except the one tree. I mean, really,
Right.
you talk about 99% of everything there, they could, and then one tree.
Yeah.
I mean, really.
It's like, go to Iowa City,
Percentages.
you can eat at any restaurant, but
Yeah.
not McDonald's or something.
Okay,
like that.
yeah. And they'd still have plenty of places to eat, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
But in the same thing here, it was a whole beautiful garden. It was planted by God. It was formed for Adam and Eve. It was created for man. It was as if God was living into this brand new creation and bringing it the best they could. And all man had to do was be there and chill and do what work needed to be done and to keep it balanced. And then he listened to the snake or the serpent, whatever you want to say.
Right.
And you can blame Eve if you want. I mean, it's still human.
Right.
Even if you blame Eve, it's still the humans. And in this human temptation that all of us have to do that, well, God said this, but, what's he really mean,
Mm-hmm.
And we all tend to do that. Did God really mean? And all Satan had to do was bring that up.
Right. We always think there's got to be an exception or something.
Yeah. And then you have all these things that come out of that. And so the woman has her thing, the snake has his thing. Cursed are you above all livestock and all animals. And then to Adam, cursed is the ground because of you. And you'll have thorns and thistles and the sweat of your brow and return to the ground when you die. And see, Eve is in there somewhere. Oh, yes. And your desire will be for your husband, childbirth. Okay. At some point or another, it seems like that which, like thorns and thistles, you don't see that in creation otherwise in the first part of creation,
Right.
but we see it in the curse.
Okay.
And I think wasps and chiggers, leeches,
like that, yeah.
are part of the curse. I mean, it's just the downside of humanity or creation because of our decision. And we can limit the number of wasps that are around us.
Right.
We do have control over that.
Yeah.
And we can take care of the environment around us so that there aren't leeches on our feet all the time. There are things that we can do. And that's sort of what Adam gets to do for the rest of his life is through painful toil you'll eat all the days of your life. It will produce thorns and thistles for you, and you will eat of the plants of the field. And so there's always going to be the downside of our upside. And if you're a farmer and you know these things, you're going to plant a really pure crop. You're going to get your seed all pure. You're going to put it in the ground, and you'll still get weeds.
Right.
That's just the way it is to it. And that's part of farming. That's part of our creation that we're living in right now. So yeah. And what's interesting is then when you go to chapter 6 and you've got the second purge, if you will, the flood, somehow wasps must have been on the ark.
It's true. They couldn't just be flying over the water.
And to think that maybe the wood-eating ant, and the termite,
Yeah.
termite on the ark, it
Yeah.
was 2 by 2 and didn't take long to be 4, and so, but it's God's creation. He still saved his creation,
Right,
on the ark.
Yeah.
And we are everything that lives now is a product of that. Somehow, God still understands that we need the downside to understand the upside. And so if we had nothing, no downside, no wasps, no leeches, no hornets, no termites, would we understand the upside? And that we live into the upside. We take care of things. We cultivate crops, and we make sure that we take care of as many weeds as we can, because we can't have a crop with too many weeds. We labor into the present, and even wasps have a spot.
Yeah. So are these like dangerous animals, creatures, were they created in the first 6 days, or were they things that they were, so then they were just living in harmony in the garden at first?
In fact, there's a little place in here in chapter 9 where you realize that, okay, let's just read it. Chapter 9, verses 1. Then God blessed Noah and his sons, saying, "Be fruitful and increase in number and fill the earth. The fear and dread of you will fall upon the beasts, all the beasts of the earth, and the birds of the air. Upon every creature that moves along the ground, and upon the fish in the sea, they are given into your hands. Everything that lives and moves will be food for you. Just as I gave you the green plants, I now give you everything." It's as if there's a shift here. As if before chapter 9, before the flood, they didn't eat meat.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden now they eat meat. But you must not eat meat that has the lifeblood in it, and for your lifeblood I will surely demand an accounting. I will demand an accounting from every animal, and from each man too. I will demand an accounting for the life of his fellow man. Whoever sheds the blood of man, by man his blood shall be shed. For in the image of God has God made man. And as for you, be fruitful and increase. So it almost seems like in chapter 9 there's a shift from men and women being vegetarian. Praise the Lord. Into being meat. I'm sorry.
I'm with you on that one.
Some of our audience understand
Yeah.
my avoidance of the greens.
Yeah.
And so praise the Lord. In chapter 9 of Genesis, we've been given privilege to eat meat. I'm sorry. We just had to go there. And yeah. Isn't that interesting? "And now I establish my covenant with you." This is verse 9. "And with your descendants after you, and every living creature that is with you, the birds, the livestock, and all wild animals, and all those who came out of the ark with you, every living creature on earth. I establish my covenant with you. Never again will all life be cut off from the water by the waters of a flood. Never again will the flood destroy the earth."
Yeah.
Isn't that neat? And
Yeah.
a sign is the rainbow.
I don't know what's more interesting, that or trying to picture you eat only vegetables.
Well, yeah, there'd be a challenge there for sure.
Yeah.
My mom had the challenge for a long time, and she tried her very best to get me to eat vegetables. And I remember vegetables in many various forms.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Now, I will say that because of my children, I would eat broccoli. And so
Okay.
when Charlene made broccoli for our family, I would eat broccoli so that they knew that, yeah, they could eat vegetables and it was all right. Now, all my children eat vegetables. It's just me that's the weirdo.
That's good. I think my mom has the same story with her dad. He's not a vegetable guy, but he would eat them when the kids were around growing up.
Right.
Yeah.
The things we do for our kids, to make sure our kids don't turn out like we do.
Yeah.
It's an investment, but it's well worth it.
Right.
Yeah. And grandkids, now my grandkids eat too. And I have one that is only French fries.
Really?
Yeah. Just that one kid just likes French fries terribly. And over anything else, he will eat French fries.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
He'll figure it out.
Over time.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I think that about wraps it up. So,
maybe it should wrap it up.
Yeah. I'm getting a little hungry now, but
yeah.
Thank you guys for joining us. Hope you enjoyed it and send in any more questions that you have. And
that'd be great.
Yeah. If we didn't cover a topic thoroughly enough for you, then let us know. We'll come back to it.
Yes. Sounds good.
Thanks for listening. We'll see you next time.
Lord willing.
Thank you for joining us for this podcast. Feel free to become part of this ministry by sharing it with others. Our goal is to help each other grow deeper in our understanding of who God is and His calling to us in our daily lives. Thank you again for joining us, and may God bless your day.